Hello guys, welcome to my channel PyLearning. If you're a Python developer, Python enthusiast, or someone who is curious to know more about Python programming, consider subscribing. Now on my Facebook page, I usually post Python puzzles of the day. I take that opportunity to talk about different kinds of competitive programming and try to motivate other people to solve those problems and get into the aptitude using Python. Now, one of the puzzles that I posted recently was the delivery problem. What people didn't know was that the delivery problem is one of the Flipkart coding interview questions. So guys, let's go ahead and discuss the delivery problem in full details. So guys, first let's go ahead and discuss the question. So basically there is an e-commerce website which has 5 different distinct type of products, right? And on a particular day, these are the orders that the website gets for home delivery. There is a list, delivery underscore details, and the numbers in the list basically denote the number of items that are to be home delivered for each of these products. So there are 5 distinct products and there are 5 numbers inside the list. Each of those numbers belong to one single product. Now, the question is, if the maximum number of trips that the website can make is 10, what is the minimum number of items should he carry every single time to finish delivery in 10 trips, right? So the question is, the number of trips that he can make is 10. So what is the maximum number, what is the minimum number of items he should carry so he can finish the entire delivery in 10 trips? There is a side note that says on a single trip he can only carry items for one product. So let's say there are A, B, C, D, E, 5 distinct products. On one given trip he can only carry products from one of these types. So either he can carry only product items from A, or he can only carry items from B, or he only can carry items from C, like that. Now let's get some perspective clear. The problem is not asking what is the maximum number of items he can carry, right? Because the maximum number of items he can carry at once is 12, right? Because there is a product and the number of items for the product to be delivered is 12. So if he decides the maximum number of products that I have to carry is 12, he will finish it in 5 trips. So for the first trip he has only 1, he takes 1. Next trip he has only 4, he takes 4, 6, 10, and then the last one is 12. So his entire trip is over in 5 trips. But that's not the question that is being asked. The question being asked is, there are 10 trips to be done and he has to carry, what is the minimum number of items that he can carry in every single of those trips, right? So let's deduce some facts around it. We already know, we already discussed that maximum number of products is 12. So if he carries 12 products 12 items every single time, he'll finish the entire delivery in 5 trips. And the minimum number of products in this case is 1, right? So basically he can carry 1 product every time, but then he won't be able to make the delivery in 10 trips. I think the total adds up to 33, so he will require 33 trips. So we have to find a number between 1 and 12 that satisfies the condition that the number of trips will be less than equal to 10 and he only carries items from one product at a time. So the trick would be, check for number of trips by looping for all the numbers between 1 and 12. For the smallest number that satisfies the condition, break the loop. So this is basically the algorithm that we are going to apply in our Python code. So let's go ahead and write a Python script to calculate the minimum number of items required to finish all our deliveries in 10 trips. Now I already have all the information here, delivery underscore detail, I have which was given in the problem. The allowed trips, the number of allowed trips is 10. And we also have 2 other variables called min underscore items and max underscore items. We already saw the logic in the presentation why min underscore items will be 1 and max underscore items will be 12. I'm using Python built-in functions min and max to get those numbers from the list. Now, to calculate the number of trips required, I have to write a nested for loop. Basically, first for loop will take all the numbers from 1 and 12 and then divide, we take inside that for loop, we take all the numbers in the delivery underscore detail, divide that by the number of minimum items that we are looping, and we calculate the number of trips. I hope you are understanding it. If not, then while I'm writing the code, it will be very clear. So I can start saying that for number in range min underscore items comma max underscore items plus 1. I hope you guys know how range function works, the range method basically in Python. The last number is not taken into account, so we have to add 1 to it, right? So for number in range min underscore items max underscore items plus 1, let's define a local variable called trips and assign it the value 0. So every time there is a possibility of a trip, I'll add 1 to it. So for number in range min max trips equal to 0. Now let's add another for loop where we get all the numbers from the number of items to be delivered, right? The delivery underscore detail. So I can say for item in delivery underscore detail. So basically this is how the looping is working. For every number between 1 and 12, we are calculating the number of trips required to finish the delivery of each of these items. So that is why the nested for loop. So I can say here, now I have to calculate the trips, right? Let's think about it in a bit of perspective. If there are 4 items to be delivered and the number of items I'm carrying every trip is 1, number of trips is 4. However, if there are 5 items to be delivered and the number of items I'm carrying every trip is 2, then the number of trips required is 3, because 5 divided by 2, quotient is 2, remainder is 1. Or if I say 5 divided by 2 is equal to 2.5, there is no such thing as 2.5 trips, right? You have to make that one additional trip, one complete trip. So the number of trips required for 5 items with 2 items per trip is 3. So what we can do here is we can basically add this logic here saying if item percentage number here is equal to 0, then number of trips is item the quotient of item divided by number. If the remainder is not equal to 0, then we say the number of trips required is quotient plus 1, right? So here I can say if item percentage number equal to 0, trips plus equal to item double forward slash, this is what is used to get the quotient of two numbers. We have studied it in arithmetic operators. Item double forward slash number. Else, if the remainder is not 0, trips will be plus equal to item, let's put it inside bracket, item double forward slash number, and then after the bracket ends plus 1. So this is going to be the number of trips, right? Every time, let's just go ahead and print out trips for each of those numbers. So it will become more clear for you. The number of trips for percentage D items is percentage D. And then I can put here for percentage D I can put here number, and then for the next percentage D I can put here trips. So let's go ahead and run this. So here you can see the number of trips for one items every delivery is 33. If you add this up, there are 33 items, so it will take 33 trips. The number of trips for 2 items, if you do 2 items, it is going to take 17 trips, right? And the number of trips for 12 items is basically 5 trips. So basically if we do 12 every time, so first time we only have 1, doesn't matter, 1 trip. Next time we only have 4, doesn't matter, 1 trip. Next time we only have 6, maximum is 12, so doesn't matter, 1 trip. So 3 trips. The next is 10, again 1 trip, 4 trips, and the next we have 12, 5 trips. This is how the logic is calculating the number of trips, the number of minimum items required for every trip. So here, so I hope it's clear how this logic is working. So here we can say, instead of printing out all the number of minimum items, all the number of items for every trip, we can say the first time, if trips less than equal to allowed trips, print the number of items required. Actually, let's say the minimum, because that is what we are interested in. The minimum number of items required for delivery is percentage D, and then I can say in here I can say number, because this is the number. And then once it is we have got the first number where we can finish all our deliveries within the allowed trips, there we break, we don't loop anymore. So we have already got our minimum number, we don't need to find anymore. So here I can say break. Let's go ahead and run this. So this says the minimum number of items required for delivery is 4. Let's go ahead and verify this once. So here inside comments, I'm going to do some maths. So let's say for the first trip we have only one product, right? So here I can say 1 is one trip, right? The minimum number of items we are taking every delivery is 4. So for the first product we will need one trip. For the next product we'll need one trip. That would be our second trip. So here after hyphen I'm writing the trip number basically. That is going to be our second trip. Next we have 6, right? So we can only take 4. So we'll have one third trip, and then we'll also have one fourth trip, right? So first we'll take 4, and then the rest 2 we'll take in the fourth trip. Then we have 10. So the first we'll take 4 items basically, that would be our fifth trip. Then 6 items are remaining, we'll take 4 items, that would be our sixth trip, and then 2 are remaining, that would be our seventh trip, right? And then there are 12 left for the last product, and then we take every 4 items in one trip, and those will be our 3 trips. So basically 8, 9 and 10. So we'll finish all the items delivery in 10 trips by just minimum element of 4. If we just take 4, we'll finish it in 10. So guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video of solving the delivery problem using Python. If you want me to discuss some other coding interview questions related to some other companies, leave the company's name in the comment section below, so I can go ahead, search some interview questions on the internet or ask my friends, and then come back to you with some relevant interview questions that will be really useful to you in your future job interviews. Thank you guys. I'll see you in the next tutorial.